Episode 8 of the Community Conversations podcast.
I know, it's amazing. I love it.
We took a month off last month, didn't we? We both had a little bit of time and restoration and recovery. I think I could have prolonged that another month. I don't know about you.
Yeah, no, quite easily, quite easily. I'm quite enjoying this wintering
Yeah,
process this year.
letting all that is not just shed it
Mm,
away.
mm,
All that which no longer serves. Yeah, I'm very much in that pattern of living in harmony with winter, all the seasons in general.
yeah.
But what a nice way to end the year, like doing this nice little podcast. And for people that are watching and listening, thank you for taking the time for joining us today. I'm going to help you get to know Abbie a little bit more. I I think you've been our community manager now for 18 months, and yeah, obviously, I think the best way if people get to know you is to spend time with you.
Mm,
But considering this is a podcast, this is a great way for people who may not share time and space with you
mhm.
to come into your sphere and get to know you. Are you prepared for that? Are you okay with
I'm all right. Bring it on. As long as they come with hugs of varying
that?
varieties,
Yeah.
I'm
So,
open to
Abby,
it.
well, it depends whether you want to hug me or punch me after I say this, but
Oh,
Abby Gale.
oh, that's naughty.
Your parents had a sense of humor, didn't they, when they named you?
They did. They really did. Um, I'll share that another day.
So you don't like being called Abigail?
No, I don't.
No,
No, that's not my name.
that's not my.
That's not my name. Well, it is, but it isn't. There's a significant space between the Abbey part and the Gale
Yeah.
part, which is the middle name. So
So you're from Norwich,
Norfolk, yeah,
Norfolk.
Norwich.
Like I don't know much about Norfolk. I've not been there, but I understand that it's also like because we're from the southwest, which is like tractor territory. I hear like Norfolk's
Oh,
also like tractor
we are
territory.
rivaling you with the whole tractor territory up in Norfolk for sure. I love Norfolk. Norfolk is very flat. Um, but there is beautiful countryside. There is a really beautiful coastline, and I was fortunate enough growing up to spend a really significant amount of time in both.
Mhm.
And it's only like recently on some of my sort of recent reflections that I've really come to understand that and see how much of a privilege that actually was and how much it has also influenced me now on this kind of like rediscovery of myself and all the things I
Mm.
love and places I love to be and what brings me joy. It's definitely it's definitely ingrained in there that they're
Yeah.
the spaces and places that bring me the most peace and joy and connection.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I love that I've got to share in that rediscovery of Abby because I've loved watching that unfold and I've loved just seeing you grow in confidence over the years, irrespective of what's going on in your life, right? Because I think, some of this stuff is about journeying through life rather than pretending that all things are good and rosy. But
Mm.
I guess, like, where did she go? Like, why are you having to rediscover something? What was once lost?
Oh, what was once lost? Um, a sense of identity, I
Mm.
believe, and what my role within really the wider world, I
Mm.
suppose, was. And not that I gave up things,
Hmm.
but I lost track, I think, of the things that I loved doing, and I think that it's taken a certain amount of time to be on my own and be reflective and face more difficult times in order to realize that actually all of those things are still there.
Mm. Mm.
It just it took time and a little bit of a unpeeling, and more so lately putting myself back in those situations and
Mm.
doing those things to realize, oh my god, I love this. Let's do more of it because this is how great I feel when I do it.
Mm.
You know?
Let's speak into that situation a little bit because
Mm,
I know that that, you know, Lisa, even at some point, has got to a point where she's just like Corey and Brooke's mum. Like,
Mm,
and even when she went to her day job, we used to work at the same place, and she was like referred to as Ryan's wife. And it was just, I
mm,
remember her getting to a bit which was like, hello,
yeah,
like, who am I? And that
yeah.
was a big part of her kind of journey when she went down the kind of the makeup business side of things. That's what got
Mm,
her into that, because it was just like, I need something for me. I need
yeah.
something for like my purpose and identity and expression. And I guess, you know, there are many people out there that they'll be feeling that their mum or their
Mm,
wife or husband or partner or
mm.
child, carer. And it's just like, I think the most important thing is that people start to understand that you haven't gone anywhere. Like that person's still in there. They just need to be reconnected with and
Yes.
brought to forward.
Yeah. And I think it's the connection that is the important part because, and I think it's about, and it's not connection to anyone other than yourself, which I think is really important to add, is that it doesn't have to necessarily be connecting with other people, although that comes as you explore and do other things, but it's about connecting back to you, back to your heart, which is what we talk about a lot here. And yeah, I don't know where I'm leading with that, but I suppose the
So,
fact that yeah, that's always there, it's always within you, it doesn't go away. We talk about, you know, like depending on what you explore, you know, like human design and all these things, like all these things that I do are not by accident.
yeah.
They're all have been downloaded for me to go and
Mm,
explore. Like we have no idea how they're going to come about or when they're going to come about, but we have to just sort of be that connected to know and to trust that that's the next right
yeah.
thing for us to do.
Well, that's interesting, isn't it? I think the world is very quick to say, this is my job, this is who, therefore I am. Like, here's a
Mm-hmm.
role, here's a position, here's a title, like, this is who you are. And I've heard a number of people say that they're a multi-passionate. I'm a multi-passionate. And I guess what that really means is that when you know what you love to do, you get the freedom of expressing that in many different ways. And I remember you and I did an exercise on this whiteboard behind me, probably about 3 years ago now, and there were like some real key words that were placed on that. Do you remember what they were?
Connection was definitely one of them. Community was probably another of them, I think. Um,
I remember the last one.
I've gone then.
Memories.
Memories, yeah.
Making memories.
Making
And
memories.
I guess the reason I wanted to share that with people is that that's now going to set the context of what you've done over the last 3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
Because when you start to view what Abby's about to say through the lens of this is who she is
Mm,
someone who seeks to create community connections and memories.
mm.
Abby, how have you been an expression of that over the last 3 years?
Wow, it's come in a variety of ways, which is wonderful and will continue to evolve in that way as well, I think, forever, forever and always.
Mm.
So the first way in which that came about, which was how our very first kind of proper conversation happened, wasn't it, at the school gates, was I just started doing my photography and was about to go off and yeah do a sort of a workshop with people, and sort of from that moment things just started to grow and evolve in that way. And I've been fortunate enough to connect with lots of people to photograph their products, their places, and even the people themselves.
Mm.
And that led to my beautiful project that I did, my Inspiring Women in Business project, um, which I just revisited the other day, actually, just out of
Mhm.
curiosity and a bit of reflection and things again. And
So why did you do that? Why did you? So Abby created this event. She
mhm,
photographed some inspiring women in business. She profiled them, and then brought them all together in an incredible space, almost like it's like a community event, an art event, a speaking event, all in one with
mhm,
incredible food. Like,
mhm,
you created a greenhouse for multiple people and their passions and their businesses to come together. Like, why bother? Like, why? Why did you do that?
because I could.
All right, see ya.
Yeah, like,
Which is the simplest answer, right? It's the
it
simplest
is, yeah.
answer
That's
because I damn well
but
could.
because I damn well could, and I knew how I would feel.
Yeah.
I think if I was invited to be in a space like that, and knowing that, often knowing the end. So I do this a lot with the stuff that I do. I kind of can know what the end product or the end emotion, whatever it is that I want to feel, and I kind of work backwards. And I do that with a lot of my photographs and stuff as well. I can kind of envisage what I'm going to do, and then I'll work backwards to create it. And I think I knew how I would feel if I was invited to be in this kind of space with these kind of people. And I wanted to make sure that lots of other people could
Yeah.
experience that.
Is there ever a point where you just thought, like, someone told you couldn't do, like, where's the energy come from? Is it like you really hoped and wished that you could do that, be that, or someone told you that you'd never be able to do that? Like, where was the energy? Was it like, I prove myself right, I'll prove you wrong? Like,
I think a bit of both, really. I think I was on a bit of a mission to achieve an independence
hmm,
and to show that right. So forever I wanted to be a mum, and nailing that. And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I wanted to be at home with if I had my babies, like my choice was to be at home with them, which I got to do, which was amazing. But then it got to a point where I was like, actually, well, there's a little bit more to me than just being this role.
Yes.
And so I think it was a way to challenge myself and explore what that could look like. And doing it on my own was a massive undertaking. I'm not gonna lie. Like, although
Mm.
it felt like it came quite easy, it was a big project. It was a big undertaking. I like traveled the country to photograph
Yeah.
people and various other things.
And you
But
delivered a talk.
and I delivered
Public
the
speaking.
talk.
Yeah.
Yes. Which I'm looking, as I say, looking back on it the other day, I'm actually very, very proud of.
Whilst your children were watching.
Whilst they're like holding on to me. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And
All of the feels.
that was important as well, that they could see that mummy was just more than is a bit more than just mummy, you
Sure.
know. And as an example to them that they can go off out and do whatever it is that
Well,
makes them
I,
feel that way.
I know a personal comment that has often been said in your home, which is, "What's your job, mummy?
Yeah.
What's your job?" And
Yeah.
so there's a little bit of like, "Here I am.
Here it is. Yeah.
This is what it looks like."
Yeah. You can see it now. Yeah.
And it looks and it feels very different to what is the very traditional go to work, go to an office, work on a laptop, do work, 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 work.
Yeah. Someone said to me the other day, I was like talking about meeting up with somebody, and they said, "Oh, well, what's your diary like? Are you, career focused 9 to 5?" And I was just like, kind of like snorted. I was like, no, no, I'm not. I'm absolutely not. It's yeah, and that's hard for a lot of people to comprehend sometimes as well. It's like, oh, well, then what do you do? What allows you to not
Yeah.
do that? It's
Well, so many of our conversations will be about how do we get Abby showing up from the inside out rather than the outside in? Because the outside in sounds like I shoulda, I
mm,
woulda, I coulda. Here's all the expectations
yeah,
played on me from either society in general, people, family members, friend, like
mm,
whatever it is. Like, here's some form of expectation.
yeah,
And then we either go along with that and we sacrifice our peace, or we learn how to do something more courageous, which is who am I and what do I want to bring to this world? Who am
mm,
I? What have I got? Who needs it? How do I bring it?
yeah.
So you've been traveling around, putting yourself in spaces and places, like your heart for communities like on fire right now. Like what are some of the most powerful communities that you've placed yourself in, and why has that been so powerful?
Um, so two things spring to mind. One that I'm not as involved with at the moment, but I wanted to be a bigger part or give something back to the local community. and that involved feeding and supporting sort of like our street friends, and sort of setting up a space and a place where they could come and have a lovely hot meal and connect and be with other people, and get all the benefit, feel nourished. I now know, be invited to the table, feel nourished. And that was really powerful, because it allowed me the opportunity to see that there were other people that were desperately trying to do the same thing. I could go in and I could support, and we got this set up and running, and then I was able to step away knowing that it was going to continue and thrive, which is what it's doing now, and providing a
Did you
space
see
for
the recent announcement?
Yes.
Yeah. So the recent announcement where the cafe area that you
It's now being taken over,
is
isn't it?
now, well, it's being
Well,
rebranded, which was
yeah.
effectively the
Yeah.
lasting legacy of a store bank, which is now becoming more than a store bank, a
Yeah.
storehouse. You know, the
So
storehouse is now becoming the cafe.
we started doing that just with the open hatch door in
Yeah.
lockdown. So
Yep.
we couldn't have people come into the building. So we were very limited, like what we could actually serve and stuff as well. So we were serving like soup and like maybe a chili or something like that we could just serve in a little cup that people could come and take away with them, and things like that. To bringing them into the sort of food bank side of the property to sit around a couple of tables and have a meal. And yeah, the fact that they're now moving into the main cafe is in a space of a couple of years as well is incredible.
It's the legacy of a vision of nourishment and connection.
Yeah.
You know, there's I think obviously the Deborah McNamara episode was talking about how food, when wrapped in a container of love and connection, is actually nourishment. Nourishment is not just food. That's the vision you brought to this community, so that those that were suffering without connection never felt. And I love that I get to be part of that story, and just to see you. That's love in action. That's what Bob Goff says when it's love does. What else have you done? You've done many
So
other things.
yeah, so for me, like as a personal one, like for myself, I've sort of been taking myself off traveling solo a fair bit. And that a couple of things that I've done like end of last year, and I've just come back from again,
Yeah.
is with a group that's called Sisterhood Retreats, and mainly focuses on bringing creative women together, but on both occasions there have been guys as well, so that's brought a different dynamic to the space, which was lovely. But it so for everyone that does know me, but it brings photography, food, connection, people eating around a table, great conversation, a community in itself. And now I'm sort of like a repeat customer, if you want to, I don't know what you want to call it, of this, because
An
it's
established community member.
yeah, there we go. And it just always offers me a quiet space away from everything else. I get to meet beautiful people from around the world. We come together with this commonality of the photography, but there's just, I mean, that's just like the hook to kind of get you there, really. There's just always so much more that you experience whilst you're there, and it always lends itself to give me a boost of creativity, and I think just thinking space for when actually it always comes at the time when I always need it as well, which is no coincidence, obviously. So, but yeah.
And what is it? Solo travel. Like you've gone from a period of being who is Abbie to confident enough to solo travel. Like, what does that do for you, like as a human being at your core level?
Sometimes it scares me.
Yeah, 100%.
But I just think, oh my gosh, this year especially has been about kind of really, I mean, I've been working towards it over the last few years, but really letting go of what was and embracing what is. And this, for me, that's a very big step in that, yep, I can go out in the world and on my own, and I can meet people and be who I am, without any judgment or worry that,
Mm,
I'm not gonna that I'm gonna be okay, I suppose. That, like,
yeah.
what could go wrong? There's always gonna be someone that I can reach out to and someone that will help me. I feel confident enough now that there will always be somebody. I won't necessarily know them, but I could, if I felt stuck or troubled in any way, wherever I was in the world, I
Yeah,
would
yeah,
be
yeah.
able to just reach out to someone and someone would go, right, I got you. It's
Yeah, and I love that I've built this community. We've built this
mm,
community to be their little fingerprints or heartprints all over the world, right? And I love the fact that I could probably go to America
mhm,
and just say, "Hey, like, I'm going to be in town," and I've probably got a sofa in every state, like I could
mm,
graciously go to because of the incredible human beings. But you've
yeah,
actually done that. Like you actually went to America
yeah.
and met a fellow Always Better Than Yesterday community member. Tell me
Mhm.
what that was all like.
Oh, like, honestly, even now, that's it. Just gives me like all the feels,
Yeah.
and it was. I mean, even prior to that, we'd only probably spoken a handful of times, maybe across the Zoom calls. But when I said I was going to New York, she was like, "Are you really? Oh my God, we have to get together." And I was just like, "Yeah, 100%." And it was like we were just sort of sisters that hadn't seen each other for months or whatever. And like when we had to say goodbye, feeling like, I'm feeling it now, but when we said goodbye, we both started just bawling our eyes out. There was just, yeah, there was something special there that we've been able to create that allows that form of connection and intimacy with somebody else and sharing, I suppose, the similar ideals and values and how we lead, you
Mm,
know, um, just made that time together so much more special. And we could have chatted for days, weeks, whatever,
yeah, yeah.
it's like, and I think that would be the same for anybody that I kind of like pen pal and chat with one of our friends in Australia now as well. It just,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
it's
You know
we
that social media
regular.
and WhatsApp's a lot quicker than pen paling, like
I
Australian.
know, but there's just something nice about it, isn't there? We send voice notes and all
Yeah,
this
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
stuff. And what I love is that it's just kind of made my world a little bit smaller by putting myself out there more. It's made that connection possible and accessible, and
Yeah, I just love this idea that
nothing
there's
is
always
off
a friend.
limits, really.
Yeah, I just love
Sorry.
this idea that there's always a friend. So
Yeah.
and even when we have a little local heartprint
Mm,
within our local community, people are starting to recognize the blue hearts. So when we go to Loudons, when we go any spaces and places, even when we're at the careers fair, when those
yeah,
young girls were like, oh,
yeah,
I've seen Teresa wear this, or
yeah,
and we're
yeah.
like, oh, okay, like there's people take notice of the little blue heart.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Important.
What's Well, it's a beacon.
Mm,
It's a beacon. It draws in those that are seeking
yeah.
that. And I hope that people find so much more than what they thought they were seeking, which is just a
Mm,
place of belonging and community,
mhm.
a space where people can both add value and feel valued.
Yeah,
Mm.
100%. There's always there's always room at our table.
How
Always.
does yeah, okay, cool, table. Why is
Yeah.
table so important? What is the unfolding of Abbie in 2024? How is she going to continue to blossom?
Whew, well, I've had a bit of a thing on this morning. Like, you just have those moments in the shower where things like dots connect and you go, right. Um, so for a bit of context, I had my 100th visit to the gym today,
Yeah.
which I was like, oh my God, it like buzzed up as I went in. Oh, this is cool.
Yeah. Why is that? Why is
Um,
why is that so significant for you?
because and it came to me is that I didn't think I could do that. I didn't think I was capable of that.
Mm.
For showing up for myself
Mm.
in that way and being consistent and seeing benefits that it's already having
Mm.
to my health and richness, wealth in that way, you know.
So how when did you first go? When did you sign up?
It's the end of February this year.
So we're talking what, 10 months?
10 months, yeah,
100 times in 10 months.
yeah.
I'm not even going to do the maths, but
And
that is
and that's
that's
not even counting some additional classes and stuff that I've done and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
walks and things that I've been on and
We're talking about
various
every 3 days.
other things.
Every three
Yeah,
days without fail.
yeah, yeah. Um, so next year I'm really looking to ramp that up even more. Um, I feel like I've prepped for 10 months in a way, and I'm
Yeah,
ready.
foundations.
Yeah, and I'm ready to explore more of what I can do physically.
Yeah, this is the always better than yesterday stuff, isn't it? It's not
Yeah.
the I'm going to fix everything all in one go. It's going, when I work on this area here, I then have a firm foundation to build something on, which makes something possible. So you work
Mm.
on your clarity, you work on who you are, you work on your confidence, and you go, right, the next thing is my health.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I've got all this clarity on who I am, my mindset, my heart set.
Yeah.
Because I know that you're not just going to the gym, like you are an influential community leader within your little gym community.
Yeah.
Like whether that be Mother Abbie or whether this be kind of like Wise Abbie,
Yeah. Yeah.
like you're bringing everything that we've done together into that. So you're being a leader within that too, because it's an expression of who you are.
Mm. I love going to into that space and just like shaking it up a bit. Like everyone, what gyms are like. People get well in their
Wow.
zones and stuff, and
Yeah.
I'm just there just to kind of go, ah,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
smile, make some eye contact,
Yeah. You
and
freak.
just yeah.
But it's interesting, isn't it? Because we are kind of counter culture the world. Because even when the gym space, by a worldly standard, is about aesthetics, it's about numbers,
Mm,
it's about tracking, it's about like, there's a lot of kind of, dare I say, masculine energy, but like
mm,
there's a lot of that to it. But the
mm,
inner heart set stuff is about who are you, who are you becoming, what are you capable of,
mm.
how's it helping your heart and your mind and your
For me, yeah, it's like those
none of
bits.
that can be measured.
No, those bits are like the byproduct of it for me. It's more like, for me, it's about the going in there, showing up for myself. Right,
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
lift
yeah,
some
yeah.
heavy stuff because my body needs it and can do it. And yeah, it's a different way of thinking about it
Yeah.
all. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna be sort of ramping that up and
Because it
pushing
serves as an
more of
expression
that.
of who we are. Not
Mm.
actually, this is what I do and this is, what I'm trying to achieve. Is actually, no, this
Mm.
is just who I am. I am
Yeah.
someone healthy in heart, mind, body, soul.
Yeah, I feel that there's a different energy about me towards the end of this year. I'm ready to, I think, now fully step into all of these things
Mm.
and that I am. I
So,
feel like I've been gathering the last few years and figuring it out
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
understanding it. And now it's time to go, right. If I put all these things together, what could that look like? And
Which
that's
is
kind
about
of,
aligning the ducks, right? And then
yeah.
when you get that full straight, like the arrow flies straight to
Mm,
faster, like streamline, and you think, right, even if you're honest with yourself over the last 3 years, you're probably in a better place than you've been for a very long time. And
mm,
for you to sit here and go, next year, like
mm.
we go straight, harder, faster, like watch out, like what, like that's some serious potential right there about to be unleashed.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
we got Emily commenting, right? Emily Harbrecht, we love
Oh,
Emily.
mm.
Emily was at Esther's book launch, and she said to me, she's like, "There's Abbie." I'm like, "Yeah, it's Abbie. Like, it's just Abbie." She's like, she's like, "I feel like I know her. I know, I'm like, go and say hello to her. She's like, I can't. It's like famous Abbie. But
Yeah.
let's just say that everyone isn't as nervous as Emily to go and say hello to Rockstar Abbie. What do you want people to know about you? What, like, people are meeting you now for the first time. Like, what do
Hmm.
you want people to know about the heart of Abbie?
I just want to make everyone feel loved, wanted. I wanna laugh with you. I wanna cry with you. I wanna go have loads of fun. I want to live life with you, right? And I want to ride along the ups, downs, backwards, forwards. You know, I want to do it all because why do I want to do it all? Because it's there for living, right? And
Mm,
we need to enjoy it. Um, and I really am trying to just live who I am with everybody that I come across now. I'm not trying to put up any kind of like barriers or be a different version of myself
mm,
for anybody. So I show up here as me, and then I'll go to school and show up as me, or I'll go. I don't know, when I have a bank meeting, I'll just show up as who I am. You know,
mm.
there isn't different versions of me. So if you met me on a night out somewhere, and then you met me, I don't know, where else,
Yeah.
but I don't go far. Um, you're going to get the same person,
Yeah. Honestly.
whoever you are, and wherever you're from, in whatever situation. This is what you're going to get.
So I wouldn't be me if I didn't ask you this next question. So feel
Okay.
free to give us short or as long answer. But I truly believe that that passion and that purpose comes out of pain.
Mhm.
Where's your root? What's your
Ooh,
pain? Why are you so passionate about helping people feel loved and that you want to do life with them?
because there have been moments in my life where people haven't wanted to do that with me.
Mm, yeah.
So it's as much for me as it is for the other person, obviously. But yeah, I if I can't eradicate that pain for myself or for other people, but if I
Well,
can be there to show them that it doesn't have to always be that way.
yeah. I think if you eradicate that pain, you eradicate the beautiful light that you are in the world,
Mm,
unfortunately. Which is why it's pain to purpose, right? It's
yeah.
so damn light. You look at the big man, you go, damn it, does it have to work this way? Like, the alternative is you weren't ever promised a life that wasn't without pain, but the fact that we get to turn that into purpose and provide like love's fullest expression through us, then your kids are better for it, we're better for it, anyone that meets you is better for it, and how courageous it is that you get to bear that and transform that.
And yeah, something that I think we've spoken about recently, and that I'm very proud of, is that through that pain, I could have easily have just given.
Uh-huh. Right. Wilted, withered, retreat,
And
like
yeah, uh,
no,
and I no,
100%.
that didn't happen. I couldn't let that happen.
Good. And and for anybody that is as well, like the most important thing is get yourself around people.
Mm.
Because this is what happens in my experience, right? But people say you're the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. So as a visual, for those on your podcast, you won't be able to see this, head to YouTube. But if you're around your average people, right, you've not consciously chosen, when you start to grow, they're like, oh, that's a little bit uncomfortable. Like you're outgrowing me a little bit. Come back. I liked you who you were. And they put you back down, right? Crabs in a bucket. Whereas when we surround ourselves with good people who love us, who want the best for us, know our potential, know who we truly are, know what we're capable of, when we go, I can't do it anymore, they're like, come on, you got this.
Yeah.
Let's go. You're like, no, no, this is too much. They're like, right, we'll go with you.
Mm.
And that's the power of having, whether it be a small or a large group of people who really see you for who you truly are. They're the ones that when we doubt it most, they remind us back is like, no, 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 not today. This is who you truly are, and we'll be with you in that journey.
Yeah, and I just encourage everyone, wherever those people or places are, to go find your people and go find your place. You know, fortunately for me, it was here. This is where it started, you know. And again, I suppose why I'm so passionate about giving it back as much as I can, because I can see all the benefits because I'm living them.
Right. Love that.
Mm.
Well, thank you for humouring me and allowing me to just pose you some questions. But the purpose of this was just to allow people to get to know you a little bit better, a little bit deeper, and you know, can people reach out to you personally? Can they connect with you? How do they
Yeah,
do that?
absolutely. Please do. I mean, either through our platform here, if that's suitable for you, but you can also find me on Instagram. I hang out there quite a lot. I'd probably most likely be able to respond to you best there. So
So we're going to get a rest over Christmas, aren't we? We're going to probably down tools for a little bit. We're going to be with our families. And then probably in the new year, we'll come back with a bit more new energy as to
yeah,
creating some more greenhouses, some more
absolutely.
opportunities for people to connect and grow
Yeah,
together.
looking forward to that very much.
Love that. Abbie, thank you for allowing me to pose these questions to you. Thank you for being our community manager. We love you very dearly.
Thank you. Love you too.
Should we head off? Guys, thank you for making it to the end of our 8th Community Conversation podcast. Ryan Hartley, Abbie Asadi. You can connect with us individually. I'll put all the links in the show notes. This conversation is all about community, and the community is very important to us here at Always Better Than Yesterday. If you're not part of our community yet, if you're listening or watching for the very first time, where we hang out most is over on Facebook. So search out We Are Always Better Than Yesterday on Facebook. I'm sure will make you feel very welcome. We've got some incredible human beings from all around the world, and we'd love to introduce you to them too, so that you may benefit from their wisdom, their experiences, and obviously come and contribute your wisdom and experience too. I think that's really important. But is there anything else from you? Anything else that you'd like to share with us, Abbie,
Just to
Gail?
say, we've done another year, which is incredible.
Yeah.
Boom. To wish everybody Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and just to reiterate, I am incredibly excited about journeying with you all again in 2024.
Let's go. Peace and love.
Yeah.